speech is titled, Who Am I? Everybody welcome Gaia Calcaterra.
Who am I? Who are you? And who are we? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow seekers and searchers, and most distinguished guests. What was supposed to start off as a simple, very basic icebreaker to introduce myself ended up being this multi-layered enigma of questions that I couldn't really figure out. And so I started looking at it from different points of view. And I started looking at it from classifications. Us human beings love to classify everything and put it into neat little boxes, onto ordered little shelves. And I looked at it from this perspective. If I were to classify myself, how do I do that? Am I where I was born and raised and lived? If that is the case, I was born and raised in Johannesburg. My parents are Italian. I lived in China, I lived in Australia, and I've lived here in the States for 10 years. Am I my culture? If this is the case, then am I South African? Am I Italian? Now that I live in the US, could I be classified as African American? Maybe. Am I my education? If this is the case, then I have a degree in fine arts from Italy, and I have a master's from Nova in business administration. Am I my body? If this is the case, I'm a female, I'm 45, I'm 130 pounds, 5'1". That's it. Am I my fears? Am I my fear of table topics and impromptu speaking? Am I my fear of scuba diving? I don't know. Am I my mind? Am I my thoughts? Am I my interests? Maybe I'm all of these. So I looked at it from that perspective. And then I looked at it from another perspective. And that was the perspective of Ubuntu, which is an African term for I am because you are. Now, if I look at it from this perspective, I'm an aunt, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, sometimes I'm a girlfriend, I'm a business partner, I'm a Toastmaster. But all of these things come into existence because of the people around me. I'm an aunt because of the presence of nieces and nephews. I'm a business partner because of another person in my business. And I'm a Toastmaster because each and every one of you showed up this evening. Had I been standing here in the room by myself, I wouldn't be a Toastmaster. And many other things. I'm a traveler because I happen to sit on an airplane. And so, am I any of these? I don't know. And I looked at it again from a third perspective. And I looked at it from the we collective. Where we're standing here all thinking that we individuals, are we perhaps not just one huge organism that happens to be inhabiting this planet and we're all interconnected? Kind of like a fungus. Maybe I'm that. Who knows? What is the answer to this question? And I think I'm all of the above. And actually not only all of the above, but so much more. And yet, in this so much more, I'm also, like all of us, in a state of constant change, second by second and moment by moment. As I'm standing here, everything's changing. All the cells in my body, my thoughts, my ideas, my knowledge, my likes, my dislikes. In actual fact, the person that walked into this room this evening in this form is no longer the person who's standing in front of you right now. And the person who leaves the room later on this evening in this form is still not the same person who's standing in front of you right now. So who am I? Who are you? Who are we? I don't know. But what I think is important is that in this constant state of change, and as tragic as it may sound from certain perspectives, because in a couple of years, all of us will no longer be here. We will leave these bodies. Then what? And so what I believe is important is that you as an individual choose and I underline the word choose, to believe who you are, regardless of classifications or what people think or say or thought, and choose something that empowers you to live the best life possible. And for me, what I believe I am is an infinite spiritual being having a human experience on this planet, with everything that this beautiful planet has to offer in the way of experiences. Who I am was never ever born, and who I am will never ever die. It has always been here. That is who I am. Mr. Toastmaster.